How's it going, everyone? It's your boy, Camden McDonald, the Autistic Historian, and as you can see, we're doing something a little different. As you can see, I am currently in virtual reality on my MetaQuest 3 headset, and that is because today's experience involves me being in VR. I am going to experience the sinking of the RMS Titanic in virtual reality. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I want to see how accurate this video is, and what they get right and wrong about the sinking of the RMS Titanic. So I'm not going to waste any more time, and let's get this experience started.
Head for that ship on the horizon. Transfer your passengers and tell their captain to come at once.
Okay, so already we have Captain E.J. Smith talking to what appears to be a quartermaster. And judging by the funnels, we are currently on the port side of the ship. So right here, I just heard Captain Smith is talking to this quartermaster, and he just said to head for that ship. So what he's obviously referring to is the SS Californian, which was visible off in the horizon. We're on the port side, so I actually think the Californian was visible on the starboard side. I'm going to look into that after recording because I actually don't know, but let's just say for simplicity's sake that the Californian is out here somewhere. So he is trying to get the Californian's attention, but unfortunately communication with the Californian wasn't possible because Californian's wireless operator, I think his name was Cyril, he was asleep, and they didn't have a nighttime, well, they didn't have a 24-hour schedule for the wireless operators because they were a smaller ship. Okay, so another thing to point out. This is Lifeboat. I think this is Collapsible C, and right here we have 1, 2, 3. I'm pretty sure this is Lifeboat number 3 or 4. I'm pretty sure this might be Lifeboat number 4. Yes, because we are on the port side of the ship. So we are on what's the guy's bloody name? Charles Lightoller, that's who it is. We are on Charles Lightoller's side of the ship, and as we all know, he allowed strictly women and children into the boats, and no men were able to get in. Well, apart from one dude, but that's a different story in its own. And I'm monologuing again, aren't I? So I'll just let this play out.
Why? Urgent.
Oh, that flares.
Surely they can see our rockets,
If
sir.
they can, they are not responding. As quickly as you can.
Aye, aye, sir.
Okay, so Smith just said if they can see our rockets, then they are not responding. Technically, that is true, but in a unforeseen circumstance, because the officers on board the Californian are able to see the distress rockets, and they did see them. However, they misinterpreted what they were. I'm pretty sure they believed that they were a smaller ship trying to alert others about the ice in the area. Yes, my original, and I'm just noticing something else. Look at that. We got a crescent moon visible in the sky. As we all know, if there are any Titanic nerds out there was no moon visible the night the ship sank. So, seeing the moon out here like this is obviously not accurate. And I already forgot my previous conversation, so let's just... Oops, I shifted the screen. That was my bad. Let's continue.
Quickly now.
Ready?
Women and children.
Alright, I think this might be Lightoller.
Quickly! The boats are leaving!
Daddy, where are we going?
Shh, love, we're going on a little adventure. We'll be back soon.
Over here. Let's try this one.
Trying to
I'm
come for the
afraid it's
kids.
women and children only, sir.
Please,
Yep.
sir, can't you see my wife needs help with the children?
Sorry, sir. Captain's orders.
What's the meaning?
Well, they're the captain's orders that he mistook, because Lightoller and First Officer Murdoch, who's currently on the starboard side, they received the captain's orders of women and children first. And Murdoch portrayed that as women and children first, and if there are empty seats in the boat, then he will let men in. However, Lightoller here, he mistook the order as women and children only, and no men are allowed in the boats.
Is this a drill?
Only a precaution, sir. Everyone will be back aboard in good time. Ready to
Okay,
roll.
well, oh, okay, we're now on the lifeboat. Okay, going back to what he said, it is only a precaution. I don't know too much about that, unfortunately, but I'm pretty sure that that if they did say that, then they were obviously trying to keep the passengers cool because Captain Smith, he didn't want a panic going around. So I'm pretty sure this was also the officers doing if they really did this in real life, which I don't know if they really said it like that or not. But saying as a precaution, they're definitely trying to keep the passengers calm because if they obviously said the ship is sinking, then a panic will amount and large crowds and mobs will start swarming the boats. And as we've seen from examples like the Lusitania, that obviously didn't go well.
Oops.
Bye. Bye, Emily. Bye,
Right
Marie.
away.
Daddy!
There, sweetheart. They'll be fine.
Oh
Thank you.
no, keep
My daughter was the same growing up. Father's favorite.
Do you believe there's any real danger?
Oh no, dear.
that's an awkward
I
angle.
saw men locking the watertight doors as I left my cabin. I'm sure we will be back on board soon.
Okay, men locking the watertight doors as they're leaving the cabins. I don't know the layout of the watertight doors, especially with the compartments, but well, because we all know of the infamous automatic watertight doors that were down at the keel of the ship. I don't know if there were any regular doors that had to be manually shut that were in between the compartments, but if that is true, then kudos, because then it's accurate. Hooray. And as a side note, this woman looks suspiciously like Molly Brown. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I will definitely look back into this. I'm pretty sure we should see John Jacob Astor IV and his wife right here, and his wife, who was currently pregnant, climbed into the boat, but Astor was refused into the boat by this guy up here because women and children only. So, if this is the boat, I'm not 100% sure. Well, I don't know if this is Molly Brown. We might find out, though. If Molly Brown was in Lifeboat number 4, but I'll definitely fact check that afterwards.
How do we get to the lifeboats?
We can't get up on the
Whoa,
deck.
glitchy guy. What do you, hold on, what do you mean you can't get onto the top deck? What you have to do is walk all the way down here. I hit the green screen again, and there should be a set of stairs right there, which should lead you right up to this half of the boat deck. And look what's right in front of you is collapsible lifeboat. Well, actually, this is lifeboat number 2 currently hanging over, so you should actually see lifeboat number 2, but you should be met with collapsible lifeboat D, if I'm doing my math correct.
Do the steerage have their own boats?
I don't know. There should be boats in the third-class decks, but I haven't seen any.
Surely there must be.
I'm pretty sure what they are discussing is a myth that was popularized. I don't know, but I'm just guessing because it sounds like it. Lifeboats were not separated by class. And if they were, then why? It makes 0 sense. And hold on, I'm just noticing. If this wait. I see lifeboat number 2 right there. So if that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then we're actually on lifeboat number 6. Okay. Because I looked over here and I'm like, wait a second, I only see one boat. Shouldn't there be an extra one behind it if we truly are on lifeboat number 4? No, because we appear to be on lifeboat number 6. Now that I see lifeboat number 2 and collapsible D should be on the deck right there.
Extra boats kept elsewhere. Otherwise, how can all the passengers leave the ship?
With the
How's your
boats
ankle,
that aren't
Helen?
separated by class?
You took quite a tumble boarding the boat.
Swollen. I think it may be broken.
Oh dear. When
What
we get back on board, Dr. Locken can look over it. At least this could make an interesting...
Okay, so they're saying that they will be back aboard the boat. I also don't know really much about that, if the passengers really thought that they were going to get back onto the boat. But what if they were saying was true that this was I'm stuttering again. If the officers and quartermasters and stewards really did tell the passengers that what they're doing here is a drill, then yes, it would be obvious to assume that the passengers believe that they're going to be back up on the the boat deck, because there was a lifeboat drill planned for Sunday, the day that the Titanic hit the iceberg. But for reasons that I don't have with me, Captain Smith canceled it. But I'm pretty sure it was because church services were being held and he didn't want to interrupt them. Take that information with a grain of salt.
Story for your next novel?
Yes, well, perhaps this type of adventure novel would best suit Colonel Gracie.
Oh, I do hope
Ooh,
Father's...
Archibald Gracie, he means. Okay, so we appear to have an author on this boat. I don't know the people who were on the specific boats, so I don't know. I know there was an author, but it was a boy, and he wrote a novel in May of 1912 after the ship sank, and it was called The Loss of the SS Titanic. I forgot that guy's name, but if that's what they're trying to portray here, or if there was another author on board, then that might be her. I don't know any other passengers on the boats, but I'm getting so curious now. I'm gonna look so much stuff up after this video is done wrapping up.
Surely he'd be safer on board the Titanic than here in this boat.
Yes, well, this is not quite the ending to our adventure that I was expecting.
Do you remember Father's face when we arrived?
Whoa,
Steady
okay.
forward and lower away astern.
Forward.
Okay, so the lifeboat has just jolted downwards. We are clearly on lifeboat number 6. And this event actually did happen. However, this is the wrong boat. This event actually happened on the starboard side with First Officer William Murdoch on lifeboat number 5. So this event did happen, but this is the wrong boat that it happened on.
Lower together, men.
Hold off! I can't manage this boat with only one seaman.
Oh,
Only
what's
sailors
this?
aboard. Present yourselves.
Okay, so what is happening is they're noticing that they only have one seaman aboard this boat. So Lightoller is now trying to find another seaman to be able to manage this boat. And there was a passenger who saw this, and he was a male, and he took the opportunity to say, I can manage this boat. I'm a yachtsman, so I have experience. He was just a normal passenger. He lied about all that. But Lightoller, with no other options available, allowed the guy, which we're probably about to see, to climb onto the falls and propel himself down into the boat.
Boat needs another hand. I am a yachtsman, sir.
Yep,
I can
there it
row.
is.
If you're seaman enough to get onto that boat, you can go.
They took that line from A Night to Remember.
Swing over that loose rope. Ready?
Which one is he gonna be on? Oh, this one.
Oh my goodness.
Woo! Spider-Man.
There, by the oar. Thank you.
Ready! Far away!
Lower together.
It's so dreadfully cold tonight.
Almost there.
No kidding, Sherlock.
Must we sit in these boats?
Till morning. Be glad you're in here and not up there.
True.
It wasn't unpleasant.
True.
man.
So, if this is Molly Brown's boat, then right there is Quartermaster Robert Hitchens. And this guy's spitting facts. This guy is spitting true facts. Well, because he probably knows that the ship is sinking, whereas most of these passengers probably don't know that at the moment.
Mass was lovely this morning.
How nice the captain attended.
Yes, this is his last journey commanding a ship.
Such a beautiful ship to retire with.
Okay, so the passengers believe that this is Captain Smith's last journey. There's conflicting reports on that, because while yes, many people do believe that this was Captain Smith's last journey, that actually it was a rumor, and I'm not 100% sure if it was really true or not, because many people believe that this was supposed to be Captain Smith's last journey before he retires. And in a poetic way, it is true that this was his actual last voyage, because Captain Smith doesn't survive the sinking. I'm pretty sure, I don't want to get into conspiracy theory territory, but if people did hear about that, then maybe someone could have started up saying, this is poetically tragic because this was his actual last journey before he was supposed to be retired. And it's true that this was his last voyage, so it matches up. I don't know the logistics on that, but yeah, let's continue.
There was a planned lifeboat drill this morning. They postponed it so the captain could attend mass instead.
Oh, perhaps that
Okay, like I said, I don't really have it on me why Captain Smith stopped the lifeboat drill from happening on Sunday. But if what this girl is saying is true, then that actually doesn't make sense to me. Because I don't really think it's really the captain's responsibility to like look over a lifeboat drill as it's happening. I think that job is for the officers. But like I said, I don't have the answer with me, so let's continue.
explains why the sailors on the deck seemed almost unprepared when lowering this lifeboat.
And why our lifeboat has only 3 sailors.
Yes, this whole affair's been managed rather.
I heard about something like that happening, where they believe that because this lifeboat drill didn't happen, the sailors were slow to get the boats ready. I'm pretty sure James Cameron, he did an experiment where he and others prepared a lifeboat, and they took 30 minutes to prepare it, swing it out, and actually lower it a few feet. Now, if you want my honest opinion, I believe the crew members were actually perfectly trained for doing this, but because of what James Cameron did, many people probably thought that they came unprepared because it took them 30 minutes to prepare it. But listen, it takes 30 minutes to prepare the boats. So I'm pretty sure that the conspiracy theorists, when they heard that, were like, oh, so that means that because this lifeboat drill was canceled, that means that the crew members were unprepared for manning these boats. And I don't believe that's true, obviously, because they're trained for this kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm diving into conspiracy theory territory, and it's very hot in here, so I want to get this over with.
Badly. I shall be making a complaint when we come aboard Titanic.
Good luck.
Help! I'm trapped! Help!
Oh.
Help!
Mommy, I'm scared.
Shh, it'll be fine. Get ready.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that was a nod to passengers getting stuck inside the ship. Now, for third-class passengers, it definitely was a chore to navigate through Titanic, because Titanic's crew members did take 3 weeks, if I remember correctly, to memorize the entire ship's layout. And for a third-class passenger down in the bowels of the ship, having only been on the ship for 4 days, people can definitely get lost in here. And I'm definitely sure that there were a ton of cases of people getting lost in here.
To release the ropes.
Aye, sir.
There's water coming in.
Get that plug in. The boat will founder.
Oh, someone forgot to put in
You
the
there,
drainage
stand
plug.
on that plug. Make sure it doesn't come out.
Well, I never.
Oh, okay, so I personally don't know the logistics of this happening on Titanic, though I do know that this happened to a boat on the Lusitania, where a lifeboat was lowered, but because they forgot to put in the drainage plug, the boat sank. I don't know if this happened on Titanic, but I'll definitely look it up when this is done.
And the oars. We need to leave this ship. Her suction will pull us under.
And what Quartermaster Robert Hitchens just said was correct. Everyone in the lifeboats believed that if they stayed close to the ship as she was sinking, then that would cause the other boats to get sucked in as the ship went down. So that's why every single boat started rowing away out towards the ocean away from the ship. And Captain Smith, he got his megaphone out and started yelling to the other boats saying, "Return to the ship to pick up more passengers." But only one boat ever did. And if I'm correct, that was lifeboat number 2 with 4th Officer Joseph Boxhall, who rowed around to the stern of the ship and rounded the propellers right as the well deck was submerging. And I'm pretty sure he realized that, okay, the ship's going down. So that's when they rounded the stern and headed out starboard.
I did see Mr. Morget on deck, and the head chef, so they might have been let up early.
Oh, I hope so.
Okay, I'm noticing that this girl is holding a lantern while they're rowing away from the ship. I don't know if that happened in real life. Just just personal observation. I don't know if any lifeboats had lamps like this.
The ship is listing quite badly now.
The correct pronunciation for a ship leaning down on the front is actually, yeah, I think listing's correct. It sucks. It's probably just me because when you say the word listing, I think of a ship rolling onto its side, not leaning. I think that's the term. So right now the ship is on a semi-even keel, and right as the bow deck and well deck are about to submerge, that's when the ship starts listing to port, and it will grow to, if I'm correct, a 9-degree list. And right as the bridge starts to submerge, that's when the ship suddenly rights herself back to an even keel and then begins dropping like a stone.
The lights don't seem to be getting closer. Perhaps they're just reflections underwater. No, they're definitely lights from another ship. We were
And they
signaling them
are.
earlier.
They look like stars to me.
Keep rowing
Oh,
towards
is
the
that the
lights.
California? Oh, I hit the green
Captain's
screen
should
again.
assist us rowing. Allow one of the
Oh, I
women
think she
to
is
steer the
listing
boat.
for it.
It's
Yeah.
a perfectly calm night.
You row, sir. I will remain in command of this boat.
The women should be allowed to row.
No!
Rowing
Okay,
will
so this
keep
is
us
Molly
warm,
Brown.
and we'll reach that ship in half the time.
I agree.
Whoa, close for comfort.
Warm us.
I am in charge of this boat. The women are not to row.
And yes, this interaction did happen in real life, with Molly Brown arguing with Robert Hitchens about the women wanting to row. And if I'm correct, even Hitchens threatened to throw her overboard for her standing up to them like that. Because this was at the time where women didn't really have many rights. And I'm pretty sure that men believed that women rowing was not correct for some reason. So, but yes, this interaction between Molly Brown and Robert Hitchens did happen in real life. And I am noticing there are some tiny ice chunks behind this guy's head. And while many people believe that the Titanic was unlucky because it just hit one single iceberg out of the entire ocean, that's actually not true. The Titanic was actually heading straight for a humongous ice field that is somewhere in front of the ship right over here. And this iceberg was floating just off of that ice field, and the iceberg is probably somewhere back over there behind the ship. So we are now seeing tiny little chunks of ice from that ice field now surrounding the ship. And when dawn arrives, the passengers in lifeboats are shocked to see that they are literally surrounded by icebergs and ice fields because the Titanic was heading straight for an ice field. So I like that detail.
Look at the angle of our ship.
No kidding.
But it's unsinkable. Surely?
Okay. I am not a fan of people calling the ship unsinkable, but maybe there were passengers and ticket masters on board the ship saying, as a brief note, oh yes, this is the unsinkable ship. Obviously, we all know the White Star Line never marketed the ship as unsinkable. While they did say in one single advertisement that the Olympic Titanic and the soon-to-be-built Britannic were as unsinkable as we can build them, they never said that the ships were completely and utterly unsinkable and will never sink in their entire lifetime. Maybe, like I said before, maybe the passengers did kind of twist it into believing that the ship was unsinkable in their minds, but there's a dog in here. Wait, what was I saying? Oh yeah, that the White Star Line never said that the ship was unsinkable, but maybe the passengers probably believed that. Anyways, now focusing on this, we have what appears to be a French bulldog, a brown French bulldog in lifeboat number 6. Recalling from my memory, so take this with a grain of salt, but I will back it up with research when I am done. There was a French bulldog on board the Titanic. However, he was black, and this dog, as we can see, is a light brown. And if I am correct, the French bulldog unfortunately did not survive the sinking. I'm pretty sure that there were no dogs in lifeboat number 6, but I will definitely look that up once this is over with. Oh gosh, it's getting hot in here.
She'll sink.
But the watertight doors should keep her afloat.
We only glanced the iceberg.
Okay, so Molly Brown here believes that the watertight doors will prevent the ship from sinking. While in theory that was how watertight doors were designed, Titanic's circumstance was definitely a little unforeseeable because the White Star Line marketed the ships as being as unsinkable as we can build them because Olympic and Titanic were both built with 16 watertight compartments. And if 2 side compartments in the bow flooded or 4 of the side compartments flooded in any area of the ship would still stay afloat. And while in theory that is true, especially with the watertight door shut, when the Titanic grazed the iceberg, it tore tiny seams in 6 compartments. So the ship was unfortunately doomed to sink.
That's damage?
She'll founder. It's just a matter of time.
Yes.
What about those not in lifeboats?
What? I don't know what he said. Oh gosh, we skipped far ahead. Okay. A personal pet peeve, but again, a historical pet peeve, actually. The first funnel is already touching the water, but as we can clearly see back here, the stern is already stupidly high out of the water. Physics doesn't work like this. When the first funnel was being surrounded by water, the propellers were already just barely out of the water because that's how the flooding and physics works with a ship like this when a ship is flooding. So seeing the propellers this high out of the water when the first funnel is already barely touching the ocean is really flaming my insides. And I definitely worded that wrong, but you still get what I mean. And as a side note, I'm just now noticing that the ship still has a 9-degree list of port. I'm pretty sure this animation was based off of the Titanic Honor and Glory's real-time 2016 sinking, if I remember correctly. And in that video, they showcased the ship still with a port list as she was sinking, even after passing the bridge and going up to the split. But as we now know today, that's not what happened. The ship, right when the bridge started submerging, the ship righted herself on a 9-degree list and quickly returned to an even keel right before she continued dropping like a stone. So as we can see, this is not accurate. 3, 2, 1. I tried predicting it, and I'm just now noticing that the first 3 funnels are still smoking. The engines and boilers have been put out long before this, so why are the funnels still steaming? Magic or something? I have no idea. Anyways, there goes the first funnel. And as we can see, it lands really close to this lifeboat right here, which, by the way, doesn't have canvas sides, so that obviously can't be lifeboat collapsible B. But when collapsibles A and B were floating away from the ship, when the first funnel came down, it missed collapsible B by mere inches, and it pushed both lifeboats away from the ship. Boom, we can see the power flickering. And the power goes out much earlier. Oh, because it's still flickering. And yep, I was worried that was gonna happen. The third funnel barely touches the water and the ship is already split. But at least I noticed that the ship still split at a semi-accurate angle, because the ship, unlike what we see in the James Cameron film where she split at like a 45-degree angle, what actually happened was the ship broke at like a 23 to 25-degree angle, so somewhere around here. And I can't even see my own arm, but hopefully my arm is being accurate. And that happened right when water was touching this deck housing under the third funnel. And it was actually right in front of the third funnel where the ship began to break. So unlike what we see in the James Cameron film where she broke behind the third funnel, she actually broke in front of the third funnel. And then she broke into a few more pieces after that. So she didn't break into 2 pieces, she broke into 4 pieces. Okay, let's continue. And we see the fourth funnel collapses while the third funnel is still up, actually. That's not accurate. So obviously the third funnel collapsed when the ship split, but the fourth funnel actually stayed up for a while longer up until the stern was just about to submerge. So yeah, that's not accurate. I heard an exchange. One of the women here said, "Can we row back to the ship?" And I think I heard someone saying no. And technically that kind of exchange actually happened after the ship sank because there were around 1,500 people struggling in the water around the area after the ship sank, and all the lifeboats were far away from where the ship sank because they were scared of the suction. But now they're staying away because they believe that if any lifeboat rode into that area with all the struggling people, then their boats would get swamped and sink, drowning many more people than if they had just stayed behind. And after, if I'm correct, 35 minutes, that was when only one boat managed to return to the scene, but by then, almost everyone was already dead in the frozen waters. And there she goes. The stern sinking with a little list to starboard, I'm noticing. I'm not 100% sure that's how she sank. Again, referring back to Titanic Honor and Glory's animation of how the ship sank. I'm pretty sure the stern actually went vertical right before the rear well deck area here. If we're looking at the water line, then what was only exposed when the ship went semi-vertical was the poop deck and the rear well deck. And there she goes. Is that it? Or is there going to be like a post-credit scene? Oh, that's it. No like words on the screen or anything? Oh no, that's it. Well, that was a very interesting experience, and they did get some things accurate, but there were also a lot of stuff that I can tell weren't really accurate to the specific area, but they still had to put in just so they can show that that did happen, but not in that specific area. So I like the attention to detail, but some areas need a little work if they want it to be historically accurate to the real thing. But then again, this animation was really well done, and I personally enjoyed it. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and click the bell so you never miss out on any more of my historical content, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. God bless.